Hi there, and welcome to Getting Set, a basic high school level set design course. I'm your instructor, Jason McIntyre. In this lesson, we'll be dealing with hand lettering. Okay, so in order to communicate our design effectively and efficiently, we need to be able to write legibly. This applies to numbers on our dimension line as well as the labels and the instructions on the drawing. This is going to take patience and practice. So, whenever you're taking notes, writing out a list, or journaling, use that time to practice. Legible lettering should appear balanced and stable. It should be solid and deliberate. To do this, we'll be using guidelines to create your lettering and your numbering. Each line of letters will have a set of 3 guidelines, top, bottom, and middle. The lettering used is always done in caps. It's basic Gothic lettering form. Each letter drafted should fit into a perfect square. Now this might seem very bland, but it's only a starting point for hand lettering clearly. Once you're comfortable, you'll develop your own style. Not that style. Okay, let's go.
For this exercise, you will need a standard sheet of white paper, a standard ruler, a mechanical pencil with 0.7 millimeter lead, and a flat drawing surface.
All right, so we start with our paper oriented with the 11-inch side up, and we're going to measure down 3 inches on the page and make a tick mark. Come over, measure down again 3 inches, make another tick mark. Then we're going to come across and make our first line. And that is going to be your top guideline. Now from there, we're going to come down 1/8 of an inch for our mid and 1/4 inch for our bottom. Come over, and we're going to do again 1/8 of an inch and 1/4, and then we're going to come across and draw our midline, and then go down and draw our bottom guideline. Right? Okay, so from there we're going to measure over into the page 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to measure over another 1/4 inch and a 1/16, then we're going to come up to the top, and we're going to measure over a 1/4 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1/4 inch, and a 1/16, and then we're going to come down and we're going to draw a line straight up, and then draw another line straight up, and one more line straight up. Okay, so these are going to be our boxes for our letters, just like we talked about. So we'll do it again: 1/4, 16, go up, 1/4, 16, draw a line, and we're going to do this all the way across the page, stopping 3/4 of an inch from the outside edge. So again, 1/4, 16, and so on. All right, now that our guidelines are done, the first letter we're going to start with is A. So A starts with a point right up in the middle of the top guideline, and we draw a diagonal line down to the corner and down to the corner, And then we're going to come just below our midline to make our crossbar. And that's A. So, moving over one block, we're going to put 3 letters into this one square, right? So, the first one, we're just going to make an L. So we're going to come down the left side, and then we're going to come over to the right side, and that's L. Now we're going to go up one, and we're going to make a midline. We're going to go up one more to the top, and that's E, right? So now we're going to turn E into a B. So that is just adding a curve to that front section and another curve. And that's B. A little lopsided, could have been better. Now, moving over one square, we're going to do C. C is going to start halfway in between the top and the midline, and we're going to go counterclockwise with our circle. And we're going to come down, and we're going to stop right in between the mid and the bottom, and that's C. Now we're going to turn C into a G. So we're going to come below our midline, right about center, and we're going to come straight across, and then we're going to come straight down, and that's G. Moving over one, we're going to do D. So D again, we come straight down the side, and then we're going to come across the bottom, making our L again. Then we're going to go up to the top, come across, stopping just short, and then we're going to make a nice arc from the top to the bottom, and that's D. Right, moving over one, we're going to put 3 letters in this one square. So first one's going to be F. So we're going to come down, then we're going to come over from the top, and then we're going to come down to the midline and come over, and that's F. Next one we're going to make is P. Very simple, we're just going to make an arc to connect the top and the middle. And there's your P. Now we're going to make R. All we got to do is bring our leg down from the midpoint to the diagonal. And there's our R. Moving over one, really simple one, H. So, just again, it's already there for you. Down one side, down the other side, and then come across the middle. And that's H. We're going to put 2 letters into this square, the first one being I. I can also be used as your 1 in your number drawing. So we're going to come down halfway between the side and the middle and just come straight down. And that's I. Then we're going to do T. So T is going to come off of this side a little close to the H and come over and stop. And that's T. Right, moving over one square, we're going to do J. J is going to come down, it's going to start on the right hand side. We're going to come down and we're going to stop about halfway between the mid and the bottom. And we're going to come over about halfway between the side and the middle. I'm going to draw a nice little curve. And that's J. Moving over one. Now we're going to do K. K again, comes straight down the side. And then we're going to come just inside of the right, starting right about here, and we're going to end up down here just about halfway below the midline. And that's the first leg of K. Second leg of K comes middle, and we're going to do again just like we did for R. come down to that corner. And that's K. Moving over one, we're going to do M. M is straightforward just like H. Comes straight down, looking for your midpoint. So then you're going to come from your right, go to the middle, come from your left, go to the middle. That's M. Now we're going to put two letters inside of this one. First is going to be O. O is going to start in the top middle of the square. We're going to come down and we're going to draw a curve down to the bottom. And then we're going to come around the other side, draw a curve down to the bottom. That's O. Also works for your 0. Now we're going to turn O into Q. So we're going to come over just halfway between the mid and the bottom and halfway between the side and the middle. And we're going to give ourselves a point, and then we're going to just do our little tail for Q, and that's Q. Now we're going to do S, moving over one. S, I've modified just to make it look better and it's simpler for me. So I start halfway between the side and the middle, and I come down and I do a diagonal line to this back corner. Then I come over, straight across, stop about a quarter of the way, and then do a curve coming back, and then bring this straight in. And that's my S. Moving over one, we're going to do U. U comes straight down and then comes over, stops in the middle. Same thing on the right side. Come down and then come over. That's U. Now we're going to do W. W starts wider than the rest of the letters, but you still need your midpoint. So what we do is we come down right next to the U, and then we're going to come up to our midpoint, and then we're going to come down, and then we're going to go from that point. And that's W. That's it for our alphabet. Now moving over, we're going to do numbers. So the first number we're going to do is 2. 2 is going to start about midway down from the top and a little close to the side but not touching. Basically going to make this question mark coming around and down, and then we just come straight back, and that's 2. Moving over, we're going to do 3. 3 again is going to start halfway between the side and the middle, and we're just going to do our top straight back. Then we do a diagonal line down to about the middle, and then once you get to the middle, you're going to go with a circle feel, come around with it, and end it. And that's your 3. Moving over one, we're going to do 4. 4 is going to start just a little bit right of center, and we're going to come straight down, and then we're going to come up here to our midline, and we're not going to quite touch the side. We're going to go all the way to the side on that one. Then we're going to come and we're just going to make our diagonal straight down, and that's 4. Moving over, we're going to do 5. 5, we basically come not touching the right side and come over to the left, then come straight down, then come over, make our curve, and come back. And that's 5. Now moving over, we're going to do 6. 6, we start about the middle of our square and we draw a diagonal line. Then we're going to do a curve And we're going to do another curve. Then we're going to come across and connect. And connect. And there's 6. Moving over. Now we're going to do 7. 7 once again starts not quite touching. We go over. Then we come down with a slight curve heading toward the middle of the bottom line. And there's 7. Now moving on to 8. 8 is just those series of curves. Start a little bit of the way in, curve it, a little bit of the way in, curve it, connect your middle, connect your top, curve it, and connect your bottom. And that's 8. And last but not least, 9. 9, we do our curve first at the top, curve at the top, come across, and come down. And that's 9. There is your letter and number guideline. Alright, well, that's all the time we have for this lesson. I hope you found it to be informative and challenging. So, until next time, I'll be getting ready while you're getting set.